Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello, folks. Welcome to inkdependence.com. I'm Mike, and today I have a really cool pin for you. It's this one. This is an OMAS pin, and it's one that I'm going to be giving away. So if you'd like to win this pin, look below and see how to enter this giveaway. After I have done this video and all that, I'll be cleaning this pin up and getting it ready to give away to one of you fine viewers on behalf of OMAS, who gave this to me to give away. I'm going to tell you up front, it sucks to give this one away. This hurts. I really, really like this pin. I might have to give myself one. It's just super good. So let's go through all these boxes. We have an outer sleeve. Then we have an inner box, which is a very nice box. Says what it is on here. The OMAS Bologna Grigio Luminoso silver trim of 14K fine. So this is a really cool pen. We'll take off this box. We'll open our little gate here, which says OMAS, to get to our other OMAS box. Inside this one, you'll find the pen, and nestled in this little pillow here, it's got this little pendant that says OMAS 1925. Very nice box here. In fact, there's a little door at the top for some stuff. This has our little international warranty card on there. Very fancy. Shunk. That's pretty cool. Instead of it being on the bottom, it's up at the top. That's pretty neat. I just noticed that. Literally just found that right now. And here is our pen. This is the OMAS Bologna Grigio Luminoso, and it is rocking a diamond cast resin here from Tim McKinsey out here in North Carolina. But these are all made in Italy, which is pretty nice. I'm glad they're still making these in Italy since they have revived the OMAS brand. And I think they brought a lot of the OMAS flavor back to this thing. I really dig it. It's got a very nice shape to it with these pointed finials, top and bottom. We have a very classic clip here. It's a very classic sort of Italian clip with a little rolly deal on the bottom to help it go over your shirt placket or your business papers or what have you. It's a fairly stiff clip, but it does have enough play to it that you can use it. I haven't had any problem sticking this in a shirt pocket or whatever like that. It's been fine. Then we have a few bands here at the bottom of the cap. We have two skinny bands, and in the middle we have this one that says OMAS and has this very nice repeating pattern here going around the side. It also, if you look very carefully, says OMAS Italy right here engraved in the back of the cap, but it's pretty minimal. Then we have this nice little sort of fade down to the barrel. I think that's a really nice looking cap. It gives the pen a nice look, and it sort of disguises how much wider the cap is than the barrel, which you can see this away right here. Also at the bottom here, you can see a little bit more of that resin, which is real fun. I think that looks interesting down at the bottom. So yeah, that's the outside. That's the outside of this pen for you. There is a trim ring down here, and this right here is the piston knob. This is a piston filler only and not cartridge or converter. So there is a fair amount of weight right here because that's where that piston unit is living. And it feels like it's going to be a metal piston unit. I can't take it apart or whatever, but it does feel heavy enough that it's got to be metal, I think. Let's go ahead and uncap this. It takes 2 turns to uncap this pen, right at 2 turns. No cap liner in here, as you can see, but I've had this pen for a couple of months now, and it has had no problems drying out. It has been really nice the whole time. There is the nib. These are 14 karat gold nibs, and they have them in every size from extra fine up to broad. This one here is a fine. You can see a little bit of ink there on the nib for me slinging this around and all that jazz. Just a little bit around the breather hole. That is a Sailor Blue Black, which I've had in here. It's been great. I like these nibs a lot. It's a little bit on the soft side. Not that soft though. I wouldn't call this flex, but you can see it's got a little bit of wiggle when you apply some very light pressure. I like that in a nib, a little bit of bounce, but I don't want to have too much. I'm not a flex writer, so don't try to flex this. That might go badly. And then this feed here is ebonite, which is a nice hard rubber. It usually gives you a nice wet flow, etc. I think it's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's had a really great flow this whole time, and I think it looks neat from the side. It's just a very nice looking nib to me. You can take these nib units out, and they will interchange with the vintage OMAS. Even though this is from the new OMAS brand, they have kept the sizes and such the same. So if you have issues with your old OMAS nibs, you can replace them with new ones, and they'll work just fine. These are, as they tell me, made in-house in Italy as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to mess with the piston knob. Well, I'll mess with the piston knob just a little bit. See if I can do it. and not spill ink anywhere. I'm looking very carefully at the feed to make sure no ink is, oh, I got a little bit of splatter. We're going to stop there. But you can see down in there, there's like some metal threads and that sort of thing. To fill this pen, you just dip the nib in ink. I usually like to dip it up to about the section there, and you just, actuate the piston, and it'll suck ink up into the barrel there. Now, you'll notice there is no ink window on that. That's one of the few drawbacks of this pen, is that you can't see how much ink you have in it. You just kind of have to guess, but it does hold a fair amount of ink. Being a piston filler, it's got some capacity, but it is opaque. You can't see through this pen at all. So that is a little bit of a drawback perhaps, but what are you going to do? That's the way piston fillers are sometimes, and it hasn't bothered me. It seems to hold plenty. All right, let's go ahead and see what it looks like next to a bunch of other pens and do a writing sample. But first, we're going to do some lengths and measurements here. Uncapped and unposted, we are looking at a length of 5.07 inches, which I think is a pretty nice length, about the same as a lot of other pens I like using. When you post it, and you can post this pen, thusly, posted it is 6.67 inches, which is pretty darn long, but I will say that it's pretty comfortable to use posted, although I don't really do that. It's just kind of, I don't know, makes it a little bit too long, and I've just kind of gotten way out of the habit of posting pens, but there's not a huge amount of weight in the cap, and so it writes just fine. Capped, once we screw this down, there we go. I forgot to push in a little bit. Capped, you get a length of 5.61 inches. So it's a little bit longer, half an inch longer than it is uncapped. And then your pocket depth from the bottom of the pen up to the inside of the clip there is going to be 5.19 inches. You're also going to get a section diameter here of about 0.4 to 0.45 inches, which is 10 to 11 millimeters ish, and that's right in my comfort zone. So hopefully it'll be yours as well. But it's a very comfortable pen to use and to write with for longer periods of time. I think it's kind of great. Before we get to the other pens and that sort of thing, a word on the price. The full price manufacturer suggested retail price of this pen is $480. That means it has a street price of $384 is what I'm seeing on a lot of sites around. You can get these in 4 different colors and as I said, a bunch of different nib widths. So, shop around, find the color and the nib width that you would like. But I mean, this gray is real pretty in the diamond cast. Okay, folks, here we have it with a bunch of other pens in its sort of size range and in some cases maybe price range-ish, although not quite. We have here the Leonardo Memento Zero, which is the normal size Memento Zero. Then we have the Sailor 1911 large size. Then we have the Scribo Puma, our OMAS, of course, we've been talking about this video. Our Pilot Custom 825, and then the Lamy Safari there for size purposes. You can see it's like the same length as most of these pens. This one's a little bit longer, but that's mostly just this finial and this finial down here. Otherwise, very similar lengths and all that jazz. This is maybe a little bit slimmer than some of them, but it's right in there in that size range that we all like. Let's go ahead and take some caps off and see how these look uncapped. All right, so here they are with their caps off, and you can see that they vary a little bit, which is interesting, but they are all right in the same size range. It's pretty much exactly the same length as the Leonardo and as the Lamy over here on this size. A little bit shorter than these two and a little bit longer than that one, but right there in the same kind of size range for most of these, and a very comfortable range, I think. All right, let's do a little writing sample. Okay, so this is our OMAS on our little Clairefontaine pad here. These are really good with fountain pens. So let's see how it starts up after I've been waving it around for an hour or something while making this video. As you can see, it started right up. It wrote beautifully. It's got a nice wet flow to it. It's got a little bit of a line width variation here if you give it just a little bit of pressure. I wouldn't press super hard on this or anything. It is not a flex nib, but it does have a little bit of give to it, and it feels really nice to write with. And with this ink, it has been kind of spectacular with this ink. It's done a really great job. So yeah, check out these new OMAS pens. I am pleasantly surprised by just how darn good this is. This this fine nib is awesome. So thanks very much to OMAS for letting me show this to folks and give it away to one of y'all. So hey, if you're watching this later on, maybe you won this. If you're watching this when it came out, remember to sign up below to win this pin. And until the next time, peace out.